Hello and welcome to the first beta trial run of the Order of the Talons Guildcast. I'm BamZack6, and here today are the High Ministers Risen and Morrowind, and Vanguards, myself, and Prophet. We're looking at a little bit of an introduction today. We're gonna just mess around with a few questions, kind of introduce a little bit personally, a little bit, gaming wise, and we're just gonna run with it. So the first question I have today is more directed toward Risen before he has to run out. What are the guild philosophies and goals? More specifically, what do you see this guild, how do you see this guild turning out when the game release comes out?
Well, when the guild was first started, that was basically to be a multiple gaming type thing. Not necessarily to multi-game, but to allow the community to talk. So I'm hoping we can keep with that. I personally don't like the one-person dictator thing, and I keep trying to tell everyone that, even though everyone keeps telling me I'm the leader. I'm not sure where that keeps coming up, but the goal is to have everyone to be able to voice their opinion, and not one person dictating how someone should play. Because a game is for everybody, so it's kind of pointless to have one person telling you how you should play the game.
And to clarify, you guys, the High Ministers are the council members. We're trying to keep it at an odd number so that when it comes down to voting for anything, they can, on our weekly meetings, they come up with the final decisions after we talk about it in the forums and stuff like that. Morrowind, you got anything to say on the topic of guild philosophies and goals?
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing. Just with experience, different guilds and whatnot, it was important to just have a well-structured guild that kind of uses all the best elements of governments that we see today. It's not necessarily a government, it's just a group of people, but the larger guild gets, the more popular game gets, the harder it is to control those people. So we just figured we'd structure it out so everyone understands that we're all trying to accomplish the same thing, just a bunch of friends playing video games. So that's kind of the philosophy that got me into it.
Yeah, definitely. When I was first starting off looking, I know it was difficult to actually find a guild because there are a bunch out there with 5, 10 people in them, and it was kind of hard to finally look for one. But Prophet, why don't you tell us what you think of the guild right now, and where you think this is gonna go when game release comes out?
Well, I was kind of in the same position as you. I was searching for guilds, and I didn't really know what faction I was going to join. And then I don't know. I met up with Risen and Schwartz, who's not here, and then I don't know. I just like the idea about having a structured guild where not one person is totally in charge, and then everyone's voice gets heard, and then at the same time the guild remains professional. And that, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna head once game releases, but I know we're gonna find a good median between hardcore playing and casual gaming. So there's something for everyone there. So I mean, as far as seeing where the guild's going, it's the sky's the limit. I mean, it's up to what the people want, and that's the whole point of this guild. So.
Yeah, going with what Prophet was just saying, it's very important that everyone understands that no matter if they've been there for a day or been there since the beginning of the guild, that their voice matters. So we can just get because all we are in this guild is just a collective of different people's knowledge of the game or of gaming in general. So everyone's opinion counts, So for anyone listening to this or anyone thinking about joining this, it's most important that you understand that we all want to work together. There's no one leader. There's no one person that says, has the last word. Everyone kind of has their input, and we all just enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, this, to me, when I was on another site, the problem was structure. And that's the thing with a lot of MMOs that you run into. You'll run into a guild where there's one, maybe two guys that just have the all-saying power, anything they say goes, and it's not fun like that. And when there's no chance of, promotion, it gets kind of boring. It's very repetitive. I know you guys, high ministers have really worked on trying to instill a system where every so often, I don't know, I forget I'm not entirely sure how long it is, but we try to rotate through the we try to rotate through the positions.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's kind of where we're going with, is trying to figure out that timeline, that time frame. And at any point, just like the government we're all in, or most people, governments that we're in, just you can always get rid of the leaders if you have no confidence in them. So it's really just meant to stress that everyone has a part to play in this guild, and everyone's kind of on an equal level. And the only people that are going to disturb that are people that are trying to do something for their own benefit, and those people won't be in the guild for long.
Mm-hmm. I know Risen is a big, he's really adamant about this, being active. And the thing is, we have his goal specifically was to get to about 50 members before beta, and about 100 before game release. And he actually just left right now, but I know that's a really big thing, and about the 50 members around where we have right now, a lot of them are active. A lot of the guys are active, which is really nice to see. All right, but Riz, I was just saying that you were really adamant about getting guys active. Like you're really adamant about having active members, and specifically officers are kind of. We think if you want to be serious about the game, you should try to. If you're an officer, if you apply to be an officer, you should try to be in just one guild.
Well, the whole point of an officer isn't so you can be power crazy, especially in this guild. It's not to give you special powers. It's to allow the more active people a way to contribute to the guild. That's all it is. And if they start taking it as I just want power and aren't active and aren't helping, then it's pointless for them to have the job. And they're not going to keep it, and they might not even get it to begin with.
And right now, we have a ton of active members that are really helping out with a ton of stuff. You guys have any shout-outs? Any shout-outs? I know Blen is one of the... She's really good with the art around the site, really helping out, making it look well.
Yeah, I think that everyone that's worked on the guild, Redbeard has done a great job on managing the website. He's on every day. Sal did a great job with the video. We do need to update that video for most of you that most of you were here when we had the old guild name, so we are going to update that video. And I think that all the high ministers have done a great job, and everyone that's really joined. I mean, short maybe 20% of the members. Everyone's been really active and is looking forward to taking a part in creating one of the better guilds of this game.
Yeah, one more thing I gotta say is the website is really cool looking. One more, what Hyro sent us, that cool music player. I mean, that's really cool. You can pause it and turn the music off whenever you want instead of having to go to one tab, turning it off. The site really is coming together, and it really looks well. Really well done.
Has Prophet even got to talk yet, by the way?
Yeah, I got some 2 cents in.
Oh, okay, good. Since I randomly got disconnected twice and then couldn't talk.
One thing I do want to add for anybody that is listening or that plans to listen, it's everyone's invited, to the meetings. Everyone's invited to the guild things, the podcast. We just we want everyone's input, because the more people that have input put in, the more fun the game is. We learn how to work together. We get to learn how to, communicate with each other, and that's going to be really important no matter what type of game this game has to offer. So we really want everyone just to not be afraid. Use this kind of as a way just to get away from reality and just enjoy everyone's company in a virtual world. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, we're really just trying to have a fun time, really. Trying to have a cohesive group of
Isn't
guys
that kind
and gals.
of the point of a game? To have
Yeah.
fun, to get away from life. So there's no point in bringing drama and structure and demands to a place that you're trying to get away from.
I know that's what the High Ministers were really trying to get rid of was drama, and they really do a really good job of keeping it low, keeping it down. So, I guess the next thing I want to ask you guys is more of a gaming specific question, more of a preference type thing. What do you guys prefer? I know we have a couple of threads up, with role-playing stories. We have a couple of threads talking about what they're going to do in PvP and a couple of things, questing-wise. What do you guys prefer game-wise? What do you guys really try to do when you're playing?
Well, I guess I'm going first. I personally like PvE. If I play PvP, it's usually first-person shooters, World of Tanks, that sort of thing. So in an MMO, I usually like to play PvE. I like to explore the environment and do stuff that I can't do in a normal PvP game. I've never really been a role player. I just found it kind of boring. I mean, I can watch a movie and get plenty of role playing, but PvP, I guess I would do a little. So my personal preference is PvE. Now, would I want to force the guild to do that? No, that's pointless. That's the whole point of the guild, is to not force anything. But that would be my focus, is PvE.
As far as me, I've always been a fan of gaming in general. Strategy games have always been my favorite. I've always liked the strategic ends of it, organizing from our real-time strategy games such as StarCraft, things like that, or even League of Legends. I'm a big fan of, where it takes different people's unique abilities and puts them at test. And when it gets into the MMO, I'm a fan of strategy as far as setting up raids, getting everyone in their position, everyone becoming a master of something that's very important to accomplishing a goal. So I've always been interested. I'd do instances way more and raids way more than I would do any of the storyline of any MMO I've ever played. Just for trying to get my guy to be the best that he can and accomplish a task at the highest level. So that's always been my kind of interest in any gaming, is just trying to do what I do in real life, just in a video game world. Try to do the best I can at whatever my goal is.
Yeah, similar to what both these guys were saying. Especially in Elder Scrolls Online, I'm going to be aiming for PvE and exploration, because in any test game, exploration's always been key, and I don't think it's going to be any different for this one. And as far as my personal preference, it's definitely going to be raiding, kind of what with going on what Morwin said. And it's just getting like the best possible gear is always gives me that urge to just keep grinding and keep doing all these crazy raids. And then once I get, especially in the Elder Scrolls Online, where PvP and PvE gear is announced to be the same, then I'm going to plan on going to PvP once I feel that my character is, I don't know, up to par at that level. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me specifically, I don't have a ton of MMO experience. I did play WoW. I wasn't heavy into WoW. I got the original like right before Burning Crusade came out, and I've had it it's 2006, 2007, right around then. Never got too heavy into it because it was just so big and it was hard to get attached to it. But when I was playing, I was really heavy into the battlegrounds, and I was really heavy into questing. PvP it's fun, but it's just you got to find the right game to PvP in. And so far, when with the videos and what we know about ESO right now, I'm really excited to see how PvP turns out, because this system, how it's going to happen, may change me over to a more PvP oriented player, because I'm sure we're all really excited about what's going to happen, and that's why we're trying to get everybody to have a good time around the guild and around the site. We got a lot of cool things going on as well. Nobody's got any 2 cents? Nothing?
I'm not allowed to insult you. It's the podcast. I gotta keep it
Ooh.
clean, remember?
Oh, that's why we're not talking so much. Yeah, we're just a fun bunch of guys and gals, and like Riz said before, that's what we're trying to do, and that's what every game is about, just having a good time. Um, think about what's something else we could ask. What? Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you guys. What are you most excited for besides what we just said, the PvP, the questing, the the raids? What are you most excited for about ESO? What are you looking forward to seeing the most?
I'm super stoked about seeing the Aldmeri portion of Tamriel. So, I mean, Somerset, Valenwood, um, I forgot what the other one was.
Elsewhere.
But
Elsewhere.
elsewhere, yeah, with the Kuji. But I don't know, it's something that we've never experienced, never even seen, so I'm super stoked about it. I'm kind of scared that, I know since it's an MMO, the graphics might be a little bit watered down, something we're not used to. But if it's somewhat similar to Skyrim's graphics, I'm super stoked about it. So
I would have to agree with Prophet. I mean, nothing against the Ebonheart pack, but those are lands we've already played before. I'm more excited to play stuff I've never seen. I mean, that makes it almost like a new game completely. And the fact that we can add friends into it now, it's kind of nice to be exploring a whole new feel for a game and now having other people to run with and do it.
Morrowind, are you there? Huh?
He bailed.
He may be AFK right now, but I'm sure that's what really everybody is looking forward to. The the Aldmeri part of the guild, or excuse me, Tamriel. And it's to me it's gonna be I've got really high hopes for it. I'm watching every podcast, anything on ESO that's coming out, all the forums. I'm trying to read them. I probably should read a little less, but to me it's going to be pretty exciting.
You can read.
I can read. Yes, I can read.
I, I'm confused by that based on your speech.
I know my sense of vocabulary is awful. I should just do this podcast with an open thesaurus the whole time.
I thought you already were, but anyways.
Okay, okay. So we talked about guild goals, philosophies. We talked about specific gaming styles that we like when it comes to MMOs. Talked about what we're looking forward to the most. Um, anybody else got any last
I mean,
comments?
this podcast may seem a little bit boring to any viewers, but it's just the start. Keep in mind, we're gonna go into more intriguing discussions, more intriguing debates. It's just the beta podcast, I guess. Just trying to get a feel for it. So, and hopefully we have a better turnout next time.
That's true. Plus, it's because it's the first one, we have a lot of people iffy on the program and getting involved, etc. So it'll get better.
The getting better part is something I'm not worried about. I know that we got a bunch of smart people in this guild that are really willing to put an effort out and really willing to make things better, and that's the best part. Um, like the like everyone said, this is the first beta test podcast. We're gonna run with it. We're gonna make a few changes. Um, you can count on hearing my voice from now on. I'm gonna be your moderator. We're definitely gonna have different people cycle in talking about different things. Um, specifically, this guildcast, as I'm calling it, we're not gonna talk about specific ESO details that are coming out. We're not going to talk about speculation. We're going to talk about well, maybe, yes, a little bit of speculation, but on our part. We're going to discuss things within the guild, and we're just going to have a good time, and we're going to have fun with it. And when I know a couple of guys in the guild, when it comes closer, they want to definitely do, casts of rating. They want to broadcast and have a good time with it. And that's what we're here to do. Can't say how scheduled we will be with these, but we are definitely going to try and keep them up. And we'll definitely try to keep the questions to 2 or 3 topics a time. Try to do it for 25, 30 minutes a time. Have a good time with it. Any last comments, Riz, Prophet?
No, I think you nailed it all.
I'm good. We'll
All
get
right.
into more on the next one.
Definitely. I am BamZac6, and for Risen and Prophet and Morrowind, this is the Order of the Talons. Have a good night.